All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday, May 2nd, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. It's great to see all of our students and members alike inside our live trading room. Chuck and Brad most recently here with us. Kevin just a moment ago on the stock, CJJD. Great to have Alex with us here, and perhaps all of our students rejoining us right now. We got class coming on up ahead, folks. The Phase 3 stock course, the advanced trading class with Fausto. So with that, I know that he's excited. Looking forward to joining you folks in class there. We'll post the link for class coming up pretty shortly from here. But right now, I mean, hey, Brad was kind of just asking here in our chat board, hey, MINM with a question mark. Hey, you turn your head away from one for 1 second and you look back, and all of a sudden, just there's a new stock exploding up near 300% now. I mean, this thing just completely blew the roof off the place, off of $4 seemingly, or $5 once it cracked higher. Hey, right away we'll put this on our list, right? A new contender has entered the playing field here. MINM. Now, obviously, at this point, for as much as it already pumped up, I would expect a pullback or at least higher lows to begin to build. We saw what happened yesterday just on the GDC trade, right? So roughly around 627-ish, and I'm going to raise that up a little bit there to compensate for these shakes. I'd say around 625 to 650-ish, very loosely speaking, at least, as a potential historical level. So just keep that in mind, but definitely I'll put this on our watch list just, out the gate. Let's go from top to bottom, though. We have a bunch of other stocks that were up big or could still be near the highs right now, and we'll see what else we could at least put on our watch list here. LXEH. I charted this from earlier. Actually, how about this? I haven't checked in on this trade really since the morning hours after the market opened up. This completely took off. I did not jump in because I was expecting a pullback down to this yellow line at 118. I took my eyes off this thing across the whole day. Trust me when I tell you, this is my first time looking at it since. This broke below my line there, fell all the way down towards the whole number right at $1, and then just bounced back up a bit. Is it possible for this to retrace back up to 150 or 135? Quick little 15, 20 cent plus gain. Maybe. I just feel like this stock has moved so much already, traded so much volume already. This is like the second win type of bounce we're getting right now. So how much more could we keep expecting? I'm not expecting too much. If I'm wrong with that, that's fine. I'll let it be. So maybe I'll come back to this if we really need to, the LXEH, but for a stock that we've never really traded before, a pop and drop stock, it seems like, look for this to make resistance here around this 118. Same to be said. Hour ended up dropping off earlier today. We traded this pretty nicely in pre-market, but it failed to make that continuated pop off of 550 and 6. So, ended up dumping off leading into the open afterwards, and ever since just kind of kept pulling back. So, talk about a gap fill opportunity, even if there's a little historical level here right around 250-ish, 245-ish. There's not much stopping it from continuing to break lower, after that. So, I would kind of write this one off, maybe come back to it tomorrow if it's really pushing back up again, but same to be said here. TIRX, former runner in the past, what goes up comes back down. So, all right. How about this little intel I'm getting right now for our gold students and up, like Alex, Chuck, etc., Alan, Amy, Carla, Carol, all of our members here. Hey, I do it live, folks. I just got the hot tag from the man himself. I'm actually going to be teaching the Phase 3 class myself. Hopefully, Fausto will be feeling better come tomorrow. But with that, I look forward to it there personally. How about that there? So let's actually try and finish this meeting there. Make sure I'm prepped up personally. IMTX, nice little bounce back up, perhaps you could say, with the market as a whole. A very similar retracement, actually. This is the CJJD. So I personally didn't have much focus on this trade heading into this meeting. I know Kevin was calling it out, and I know Kevin's had some good call outs, so I'm sure he was focused on a good trade. I've got a couple bowling pins in the air here today I'm juggling through. So trying to make a couple of videos for YouTube before this meeting started. I didn't really turn over to this trade at all. I like it. It actually looks pretty interesting. Tight spread, good liquidity. So definitely I'm going to put this on our watch list, Kevin. Good call for right now. Hopefully he took part as it ended up shaking down to $1, back up towards the highs here. It seems like there's a bit of a resistance roughly around 120. I'd probably even treat this every 5 cents as a potential level. So 120 to 125, I'd say there. Verb, VERB, ended up leading to a nice pop, just like live right now. Hey, 230, big pop here. Big spread for the stock price, so that I'm not really too particular about. If it could flip this 265 loosely here as support, then that's something else, I'll consider. I'll put this on our side list. I like the afternoon pop, but we'll see where it ends up in the next 5 or so minutes. All right, we keep it going here, folks. LEJU, not much there. AGBA, tongue twister stack. INAB, I saw Chuck call this out as well earlier himself, but hey, it's got a bit of a spread here right now. It might look like a penny here live, but what happens when these 943 shares get filled or pulled? It's going to open up. It's just very thin outside of what we're currently looking at here at the spread. More of an afternoon move, which I do appreciate. I'll put this on our main list for right now. Give it a shot. See if there's anything looking sharper on the way up even. MSGM, not much happening there. Nerve, same here. I guess you could say this is at the highs. This stock has a big gap to fill, it seems like, back from last year. I recall that. Ended up making this big squeeze up, big squeeze back down. So, hey, if the stars align, maybe across this week, this could be an interesting trade, but not really as much if the spreads won't contain, the order book won't fill in. Remember, folks, we're currently in the middle of the Fed meeting. Started today, ends tomorrow. So this has been a very volatile market, just given pre-Fed meeting. Normally, you're not expecting much traction up or down across the market. So to get the drop off we had today was pretty impressive. To get the retracement so far has been pretty nice to have. A stock like Workhorse here, WKHS, perhaps moving up on its own accord. A little slow, so maybe not as fast as what I really want, but it's at the highs. This stock we've traded in the past, back from the last year and a half, 2 years. It was an EV company, or is an EV company. I think they were affiliated with this whole contract with the U.S. Postal Service. I think that obviously ended up going underwater, just blew up that deal. Stock got crushed over time. Could be a potential short squeeze with all of that in mind there. So yeah, WKHS, at least for the meantime, I'll put on our main list. Got Ride moving up with it. CLSK, another EV type of company here. Clean Spark. This one's at the highs too, making a push right now as we're talking. So it's hard for us to ignore this, at least. CLSK. If I put Workhorse on there and this is looking the way it is, I'll add this. Got Uber. Hey, really good trade coming off our weekly Traders Talk workshop, which we conducted earlier inside our live trading room. 35.50, folks. Been screaming it out loud. So ended up taking profits on this trade a little earlier. As it pushed up towards 36.50, I just took the money and ran. I figured it was going to pull back down a little bit and chop around. It's been holding pretty well, though, near the highs. I thought it was going to dip off a little bit more, probably have it come back to 35.50 during this meeting. Well, I was wrong with that, probably. So, yeah, Uber right now is still holding near the highs. Definitely a great trade for the close. Definitely put this on our list. All right, so far we got 6 stocks to work with. Actually, a pretty decent list. A couple of cheapies in there with good spreads. We got Uber, more of a name brand company perhaps, but coming off earnings. So, a lot to work with here. Geez, GDC's down 83% right now from yesterday's close. Are you kidding me? Folks, I swear to you, this is a live raw reaction. I did not know that this was down as much as it was because I didn't care to look. I don't only trade these stocks day over day unless if they're proving themselves in terms of the trend. So we lost track of this way early this morning. I mean, it got halted a couple times down. Richard here giving me a little intel in our trading room right now saying they announced an offering. Well, I'll tell you what, Richard, that's the first I heard of this. I didn't care to look, but I'll tell you, that's the least surprising thing that I've heard today. For a stock that made, I think it was a plus 3,100% gain from the last 2 days, all these like stocks will eventually do some sort of, direct offering, common stock offering. You don't know when it's going to happen either. It's just that it's pretty imminent after a big pump up like that. So the fact that that's the news, Richard, definitely does not surprise me. It's actually the fact that it's down 83% from yesterday's close. That is a hell of a big drop. So, I hope nobody held overnight. Hope nobody held on to this trade throughout the day. If you did, well, unfortunately, it's a hard lesson learned, right? And well, hey, Chegg, a stock that is down, I mean, a hell of a lot too, like nearly 50% live right now. I'm not in this trade now. I missed my opportunity as it rebroke under 950 from the morning. I took some money on a quick trade at the open on this as a short. Nice trade, from 930, but then it started to retrace up. It got a little hairy, but now, hey, it's proven direction, pulled back. It's flattened out across most of the afternoon here, but still looks like a good short. So Chegg breaking all-time lows, I believe that is shortable on TradeStation. Yep. Looks like all-time lows. Just want to not all-time lows. All right, so I stand corrected. Not all-time lows. Maybe I was thinking of another stock. So either way, we're going to put this on our watch list. But I do stand corrected there. Not all-time lows. In fact, warning here, folks. This is actually at some pretty historical level right now, right off of 875-ish, 880-ish. You can just loosely say 871, 885, 877, 884. Yeah, I'd kind of just say right there around that 875-ish, 880-ish area. That's clean. I'll keep this on our list. Hey, if it could break below there, who knows how far this could drop off into the close. So, potentially great short setup here, especially if this could smash lower below this support. All right, CYH. Actually, shortable this stock is today. Dropped off after the market opened up. A bit of a nice trend to work with, but I feel like the Chegg could be better. I feel like there could be better trades on the way up, perhaps with the market. I mean, PACW made such a big drop off earlier today. A lot of the regional bank stocks took another big hit with First Republic down and got halted off the JP Morgan. So KeyBank down big today. That could be a potential short. Just the fact that PACW is so flat here, though. Actually, you know what? Maybe that's more from a zoomed out look. You zoom in a little bit. It's actually on a nice, steady, consistent downtrend. So I wouldn't look for that big 50-cent dollar move. But you know what? Actually, I do like PACW. I like this one. And we'll put KeyBank on our list too. Zion, a little more expensive, down as much perhaps. I mean, I'd probably be more interested in PACW and Key out of the two there. Western Alliance, another one, but that one's very thinly traded. Not a fan of thinly traded, folks. So, for right now, given the price and the liquidity, I like PACW. I like KeyBank. Both those will make the cut. PACW, that reminds me. Pack B. This is the only trade that I'm currently in right now, folks. I have a stop set at my entry price, and I actually chased this a bit, but I had my line set up on this trade heading into the market open even. I didn't trade this at the open, but I had my line set up. So across the afternoon, I was flipping through my stocks, my side list, and I ran back into this. Well, it was already over these two lines here, and I thought, well, since it's re-breaking over it, I thought there was a good chance to see this run up higher. Probably could have gotten out off the doji that I had set up off 1158, but hey, this could be a good side list stock to work with. I'm not going to put this on the main special list just yet, but it has good liquidity. It's at the high of the day. It's a stock from yesterday afternoon's list, about 24 hours ago. So I'll keep it in mind, maybe just if nothing from the main list will make a big move initially. All right. Folks, let me know. Work together as a team here. Let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right, more than that 5% that we typically look for. I have to readjust rather quick here. Teaching the Phase 3 stock course class lined up at 3:05 Eastern Time, folks. If we're being honest with ourselves here, I thought there was like a 10% chance I'd get the hot tag, but not fully prepped up either way. I got to make sure I'm good to go. So let me know if there's anything else. We should be good otherwise. We got a good list here to work with. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 stocks to work with. Don't need to make too big of a watch list now at this point. Verb is the only other one I'd said I'd come back to. And at this point, yeah, we're going to add this to our list. So that'll make 10. Nice. All right, cool. So this rebroke over that resistance at 265. Made a huge pop actually off of it afterwards. We kind of came back to the trade as it was pushing back up towards it here. So clearly 265 actually flawless support. Boom. Beautiful catch. Did anyone here like Leda or Richard, Alex or Felix or Brian, Barbara, anyone here jump into this trade off that 265? I'm just asking out of curiosity. If the answer is no, we got plenty of time left, folks. Got plenty of time left. So I always like to ask just to see if anyone caught it. You're calling it out live. Big level off that 265. So Richard says the MINM trade does not want to stop. All right, we'll take a look at that already on our list. We were talking about that initially. Wow, what a pop up this is having here. I mean, it's getting to a point where the spread's just becoming untradeable, right? If this halt's coming up here, then we'll see what happens off the reopen. But I would definitely say that 10 would be just a loosely historical or loosely psychological level to follow. As far as like a chart level, maybe, you can kind of use this overall range here as a potential support. But you got to be careful given the spread once this reopens up. It's going to halt coming up in a second. Steve. All right, Steve took some money. Steve got out. He got out before the pop here, but he took nearly $2 a share. So you can't go broke taking a profit, Steve, right? We're not trying to play Powerball tonight, everyone. If you're here for Powerball, well, you're probably going to keep on losing. You got to take the money and run like Steve did right there. So that's a really nice trade from Steve. Congratulations to him. Very nice. All right, folks. So with that, hey, we're going to finish up right now. I look forward to seeing Steve, Leda, and all of our students live joining me in class coming up. Maurice asking here on YouTube right now, just, hey, what was the stock at 245? Or I'm sorry, 265, he had asked. That was just the last one we had mentioned a moment ago, the Verb. He had asked that just a couple minutes back there. So the 265 level was what we were commenting on live. That was from level 3 here, the volume histogram we were kind of sharing at the time. All right. Well, hey, for Maurice or any of our members on YouTube or our social streams joining us here today, hey, we appreciate you folks joining us each and every day. For myself, each and every afternoon. Any questions that you have, feel free to shoot me a quick email. Josh@cttrading.com is my handle. Always like to post that at the end of these streams here. Feel free to shoot me an email if there's any questions or trades that you'd like to go over. But otherwise, if you wanted to continue the audio commentary inside our live trading room, whether it be today, tomorrow, or anytime this or next week, just go right down to the link on the green banner below, just on the bottom of the stream there to get yourself set up and started. But otherwise, though, for Charles, Richard, Leda, Dan, Steve, once again, congratulations to Steve there on that trade. Look forward to seeing most of us in class coming up, folks. Talk to you all soon.